On today's show, we got a big one for you. How do you keep your mind right? I gotta ask you guys that question as the listeners, as the co-hosts. They don't even know I'm about to bring this to them. What? That's right. I'm freaking out Kermit's cousin, Kermit the Frog. Now, we've got a lot of business card talk, RBF talk. Potts has some news. I really wanted to get into resting bitch face and what the hell that is. Do people realize how poor they are portraying themselves? Belly's knocking over it. All kinds of statues. We're just pumped to do this again on a Feel Good Friday. So strap it on. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Skater D.
Hey, I'm John Charles Meyer, producer of Dave Made a Maze.
Hey, what's up? This is Scott Ladotti, author of Play the Devil, and you are listening to Luch Dog.
Luch Dog. Luch Dog.
This is Andy fucking Cruz from SiriusXM 415, and you're listening to Luch Dog in the morning.
#1 podcast in the world. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back, folks. Oh, we're so happy to be here with you. Thank you for joining us on the channel TTR Studios from YouTube, live in your ears. So welcome to the show, my wonderful friends. Thank you for hanging out with us on another fantastic Friday. Belly Matt LaBelle joins me in studio. What's up, my man?
Oh, you went to me first today? That's crazy. Yeah. I was not ready.
I never tell them. I like to keep them on their toes. Put Matty Potts in the Santa Monica newsroom across the land. What's up, dude?
Salutations.
Happy
Friday.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us live. Thank you on the social media lounge. Belly, what are we serving?
We're serving a glass case of emotion where you're just sitting in there, staring there, watching us. Nothing is in there tonight,
the social media lounge, I will finally tell you for once exactly what I'm talking about, because if you're a podcast listener, I get texts on our call-in line, I get emails, I get voicemails, 571-354-7338 if you would like to interact with the show, both while it's on the air and off. I get them either way. And the most common question we ever get is, what the hell is the social media lounge?
Well, easy. The social media lounge. Oh, I didn't know that was a direct question at me.
It wasn't, you're good. Just take it away.
The social media lounge is that sexy place where all of our wonderful live listeners hang out, where they come in, they lounge around, they shoot the shit with each other.
It doesn't exist.
All while watching the show.
We create a space that doesn't exist. It's literally the chat room on YouTube. When you go to our live stream, just head into the chat.
It's their safe space.
But Potts, people are like setting their appointments to get in there because I think it's a fun, especially for the Voice of One Wheel too, because it's like a fun place to kind of talk to each other, watch a show. Have you ever watched, I know like the show that I like to listen to, Dan Le Batard's show with Stu Gatz, they do watch parties where if ESPN has the rights to like the College World Series, or I'm sorry, the College National Championship, the football game, they just had a live stream like we do, except in the main screen, it was the game, and then in the corners, it was like just them talking. And I think that was an amazing way to watch the game. I feel like that's something the Potts would totally get down with.
Yeah, what would we live stream if we were going to be able to live stream something?
So it would have to be like we wouldn't be able to take the stream of the game because we don't have the rights to it. But what we could do,
if we could do anything, what would we like? A Redskins game or something a little bit more?
Belly, if we could have the rights to, you're the sports guy. If we could have the rights to anything, let's stay in sports. Anything at all. Obviously, the Super Bowl would be nice.
It'd be championship games, yeah.
But I mean, even like, I would love to have like.
Nope, it's not going to be tennis.
No, not tennis, not Isner. I was thinking about that, but like, if I had like the PGA Tour right now or the PGA Championship, that'd be fun.
Let's
do some golf.
Is that golf? Are you fucking kidding me?
Talk
Potts,
about golf.
Wouldn't you want one?
The approach.
Hasn't everybody always wanted to do this at least once?
As Tiger Woods approaches the tee, he's plus 14, and the only people that are still at the golf course are watching Tiger Woods.
Pretty much every Sunday. So I think that would be a fun way. Like, what we could do, and
what is that?
You can call me Isabel.
Whoa, who's Isabel Potts? Why is she whispering in my ear?
What is that?
Since we started whispering, I'll just go right into this if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Can I hijack real quick?
Dive in.
Go ahead.
Dig deep.
So have you guys heard of ASMR?
No.
ASMR, no.
ASMR is an acronym. It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. It's an experience characterized by a static-like or tingling sensation on the skin that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine. It's been compared to auditory tactile synesthesia. So basically, they talked about it on Stern yesterday, and I was just shocked because normally I've heard of things that they've talked about. I have never heard of any of this. And there's this whole thing on YouTube. Literally, these people have, some of them, the videos have 90 million views. These people do videos every single week, and it's where they whisper. And so what I was just playing was a school nurse annual physical exam. They have people eating pickles, people chewing gum. They have girlfriend experience where it's a girl laying in bed and they whisper. So this is all it is, and it's supposed to
Pods,
it's supposed to create. Yeah,
I gotta know. So you're telling me I can get a job softly whispering into people's ears?
Dude, guys, girls, yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
All right,
and I
sweet.
think really
New career aspiration.
If you find you have to find something that basically is just outside of the box. Like people are like, eating pickles, and it'll be a 2-hour-long video. This one,
I don't understand. Wait a minute. Everybody tells us that our videos are 60 minutes. There's no, literally one of the comments on the One Wheel forums was like, yeah, it's a 60-minute video. Anybody want to do the cliff notes for me? And I was like, dude, skip ahead. Or, just I don't understand how are people going to listen to
60 minutes feel like 30 seconds. Ask any woman we've ever been with.
Oh crap, hold on.
That was good. I'm just saying,
so
who's watching this for 2 hours? Is it 10-year-olds? It's got to be kids.
Like people with some sort of fetish. So what I did was last night, it's supposed to also help you go to sleep. So last night I listened to one. It was a guy shuffling a deck of cards and talking about like how to play poker, but it was all whispering. And you could hear him shuffling the deck of cards, and he was just talking, and I fell asleep in about 30 minutes.
I imagine this is very helpful for people that feel very lonely at night, and they feel like, I just want to fall asleep with someone talking to me.
I'm guaranteeing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go.
I'm guaranteeing there are listeners right now that are going, guys, Sleep With Me podcast.
Sleep With Me.
Yeah.
podcast.
Well, I've listened. I've used that Sleep With Me podcast a lot.
From PRX.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and friends beyond the binary, it's time for the podcast that wants to make bedtime feel more than just fair, more than just a fine. I want to create a safe place for you to unwind. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to put you to sleep.
I mean, that's a thing.
That's funny.
Dude, you have to play skip to the middle. So I have used that several times to go to bed. This guy is got to be one of the most brilliant people ever. If you listen to this podcast, it is absolutely impossible to stay awake.
STATFAIR. Until it's over, then I'm gone. That's another song that didn't make it.
Does he read books to you?
I'm pretty sure he does this in a way that it doesn't even make sense. It's perfectly meticulously put together to mess with your alpha and beta waves to put you to sleep.
Like if that guy can read me like a science book, I'd be asleep in 2 minutes.
They make plans to meet the roller coaster at 8:30. Standing by the roller coaster.
I'm falling asleep right
now. And I mean, it's fascinating.
And if we are, so is the social media lounge.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what, Potts?
It's meticulously done because you listen and you think it's not reading a book, it's not reading a script, he stutters at certain points. He changes it, like you try to keep up with what he's saying, and if you focus on trying to follow him, you literally get exhausted and fall asleep. It is the craziest podcast I've ever heard. The guy's got I think 100 episodes. It is brilliant. I'm telling you, it's nuts. I'd love to interview the guy.
So the thing is, I think the more interesting conversation here is like the things that exist that get 90 million views that make me want to jump off okay, I'm not going to make that joke, but that make me want to slam my head against the wall because 100%. Of how hard we work towards this. And then you see somebody who plays Roblox and puts themselves in the corner, which is just like a Minecraft game that the kids go ape-s over. I mean, these kids love this stuff now.
Ape-s.
Did you like that? Sensory.
We're all in on sensory right now.
Censorship. Yeah,
So,
and so what it is Potts. It's just a kid playing video. It's a guy our age playing this Minecraft game, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna go build a house. Let's go build a house. All right." And like
that guy's on speed,
dude. He is. And actually, one of my friends who was showing it to me, she's like, "Dude, this is you. Why don't you do this? This guy is like just basically you playing video games." And these things have like 4 million views.
Because Luch can't play video games for more than like 35 minutes.
I can't. But if you're telling me that I can make money off of it, now I can.
No, but that's the thing is these people are playing for 8 hours at a time. You know, I mean, they lock themselves in the room with a case of Red Bull, and you know, there's a commitment there to them for sure.
But
you're talking about the 0.5% of the entire population of gamers that's making the money.
So Belly and I were talking with somebody that we know that also has a child. And we were bringing up YouTube and how do you censor YouTube with a kid, because my God, parents like when we were growing up, they didn't have to deal with that. But think about YouTube. Think about the internet. Like literally, your kid can go out and figure out anything they want, and with such an inquisitive mind, you can look how easy it is for us to get down a rabbit hole. And I mean, for a kid who doesn't know anything is so inquisitive because they actually have real questions. Yeah. Oh my God, it must be so easy to find some weird, deep, dark shit.
Wow, that's a beautiful name, honey. Just going to write that down.
That sounds like a porno.
Yeah. So, you know, how many people are using this to go to sleep, and how many people are using this to like diddle themselves?
Here's what I'm saying. Both. They're doing it both. They're doing both.
Yeah, it's
they're diddling themselves to sleep.
It's almost like racing yourself with the Ambien.
I can tell you, it sounds a lot better than what Luch goes to sleep to, which is basically a.
And this chick's pretty hot. I mean, but it's like she's literally beginning.
You're telling me there's a video?
She's asking your name. She's asking your height. Like, I'll fast forward it, but I mean, it's all whispering.
What do you do for a living?
So. Are you wearing glasses sometimes? No. No? Okay.
Oh, you don't wear glasses?
Anyway.
So no, what's funny is because I was gonna say this is basically what's the movie where the guy's like, I think it's like Stifler here. He's like, I just want to take a bunch of Ambien and then basically see if we can bang out before we pass out. Either way, either way I win.
It's a race.
What is that movie? They're in a tent. I can see it. They're outside camping. They're in a tent. He's trying to bang out that chick. And then he ends up completely naked in the campground. It's Stifler. Nobody?
I have no idea.
Social Media Lounge, help me out. I need you right now. Oh my God, I need it. All right, anyway. So good morning to everybody.
Yes, we're glad you sensory slept through that first segment today. Hopefully the Sleep With Me podcast didn't knock you out.
Yeah, that's fun. That's actually kind of a funny way to start a show. Bots is always like, wait, we need to start with something that's going to hook the listeners.
Let's start with some energy.
Let's start with energy, a good story. Let's just whisper to them. It's so weird, man. And that stuff probably makes them a whole boku bucks of money, but I do not make any money off of business cards. I don't make any money off of them. In fact, I went a whole year refusing to get any once mine ran out because I just hate them.
Business cards are great.
What do you like about a business card? I mean, what the... So,
it's a form of contact. Easy to drop.
But I don't feel like anybody ever calls me when I hand them a business card. I think it's so much better to be like, oh, let me...
Well, they're never going to call you if you don't hand them a business card.
No. What I do is I go, oh, no, I don't do that. Let me text you. I'll just call you right now. Let me get my number immediately into your phone. I don't do business cards.
I like that. The only reason I like business cards is because it's a great way for me to get out of a conversation. Be like, oh, hey, here's my card. Okay, see you later. And like, that's what I use it.
Well, it's
really, that's why I use them.
See, well, a business card recently worked for my friend in the airport. So we were at the United Club getting ready to fly back from LA. And there was this girl a couple seats down from us. Eventually, they started talking. And then eventually, we had to leave. Our flight was getting ready to board. We had to go. So what does he do? Just drops the business card down and says, here, if anytime, you just contact me and we'll get in touch soon.
Now, that's the right way to do it.
You walk away.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, it's good closure.
I'm awful at it. I've had 2 failures of business card drop-offs where I actually offended the person.
Yeah.
So
you're an offensive guy, Luch.
Well, I'm not. I'm like a little teddy bear. Come on. I'm like a teddy bear on crack. Just running around for hugs.
Free hugs.
Hug me. God, you would totally punt that thing.
Yeah. I would definitely not take a business card from it.
You know what we have as our check-in offer on Marinate on Yelp for our free check-in is you check in and get a free hug. Because I'm too cheap to give out like a free taco anymore.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah.
So I actually saw. Do you want the one where Do you want the one where it made her mad, or where she thought I was hitting on her?
Isn't this the same?
Hitting on her.
You want the hitting on her one first? So at this Isner thing that you guys saw, I did. When we were getting all set up, I was the DJ for this like pro-am, and John Isner was doing some clinics beforehand. And this basically, it's at Trump National Country Club in Sterling, so pretty hoity-toity, if you will. Basically, everyone there probably a millionaire, you would imagine.
Large buku dollars exchange.
A lot of money in that room. And so this woman walks in with her oh my God, there were some like obvious trophy, like they clearly like. It was just so obvious, the stereotype of like a trophy wife, like coming in to play tennis and like with all her girls, and they look all fucking done up and cute.
They
but
definitely have
not good at
mimosas in
tennis
the
at
morning.
all. Yeah, but they're terrible, you know, or like some of them were good actually. But what I wanted to say is that one of them was probably like, I don't know, 50 and fake tits, clearly had some work done on her face, and is like, oh my God, is it going to be a DJ today? And I was like, yeah, there is. And she's like, oh, wow, no way. Like, I'm from Miami, and, like, you have no idea. Like, I've always thought I could be a DJ. And I was like, you could. You should take some classes. And she's like, oh, that's why I'm, like, divorced. Like, my husband wouldn't even take classes with me. Like, drop that real fast. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? You can play a song later. I got you. Like, I'll take care of you. She's like, oh my God, that's so cool. She walks off with her girlfriends, comes back like an hour later while the thing is full blown. And I was like, all right, hey, you, I got you, come over here. Let's make some dreams come true. You see that button? When I go like this, you hit that button. And like the song stopped, and I was like, what's your name? She's like, whatever. It's not her name. She was just like, Jane. And I was like, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for DJ Jane. And she hits it, and boom. And she has her moment. And it's like really cool, right? That's fun.
I mean, if you're not hitting on her, you should have been, because it's pretty smooth. I mean,
I'm genuinely not, although that is a very easy move if you really wanted to get a girl's number. I typically don't, because I'm trying to be professional. I just want everybody to have fun. However, she had a blast with that. Her friends are like, oh my God, look at that. She did it, DJ Jane. You know, and everybody's having a good time. That's fine. Oh my God. But
Snapchat.
At the end of the night, Belly, she's sitting there talking to me, and like I've clearly been like cool and on the same page with this person. And then I go like this, I just literally go, and this is where the delivery is all wrong. Remember, I'm doing stuff. I'm actually DJing at the same time, so I can't like walk up and just be like, hey, listen, this was an awesome time. In case you ever need me to DJ any events in the future, I'd love to work with you. Just here's my number in case you need it. That's not what I said. I literally she's at my table. I handed her a card, and I just said, just in case you need me for anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Can I get an explosion? Because it was basically like...
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. I had no intention of hitting on this woman. No intention of hitting. I literally meant in my head...
I mean, it sounds quite pretentious, too. Like, hey, I'll fuck you later.
Is that how it sounded? Because it's not what I was saying. I was literally saying...
Hey, if you need any services,
boom.
If you need me for your undercarriage, what?
They call me the plumber. Boom.
That's why I hate.
Said the first time would have been way more appropriate.
Let me clean your pipes. Boom.
Oh God. Let me go fix your outlets.
Guarantee there's no cobwebs down there. She's fine, just fine.
That would have been amazing. Oh, it would have been great. She was cute. It's just I wasn't hitting on her, and so the way she received it was like this. She goes.
She's like,
and she just puts it down on the table.
You know why?
Oh, she left it on the table?
She literally just takes it, looks at it, looks at me, as if to say, oh, sweetie, you wish.
Oh, yeah.
And puts it down on the table.
And you know why, right? Because she's definitely banging some rich dude at that event.
Oh, yeah.
She's actually going for Phil.
But Belly, the whole thing I'm trying to say is like that struck me. I was like, why would she be so rude to leave it there like that? That's like almost
she's from Northern Virginia.
I don't think so. I think it's more because I accidentally hit on her. Yeah. I'm accidentally hitting on her. It has to be.
Yeah. She's like, oh, honey.
Like you ain't on my level, and then she just like puts it down, and I'm like,
You're a fucking DJ.
Wow. I thought we were cool.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
So what did you do? You just like, because I mean, you're
at first I was butthurt over it. I was like, what did I do? And then I thought about it and I figured out, oh, she thinks I'm hitting on her.
Whoops.
Like, I got to do this better. There's another way to do it. We got to get a break. Holy hell.
The other way to do it is
what?
to
How do I do it right, Belly? Tell me how to do it right.
Just pretend like you're not hitting on them at all. When you ignore them completely, they get really like, whoa. Why are you ignoring?
That right there is a knowledge bomb. If you want a girl to pay attention to you, pay zero attention to her.
Well, no.
And that's annoying, but it's true. Because that makes me, if a girl is paying zero attention to me, let's be honest, I want her a little bit more. Yeah. It's like you just want to know why.
I'll take what I can get at this point.
All right, when we get back, let's do some resting bitch face, because if that girl were to come up to you and she can't figure out how to smile, it might not go well. I want to talk to you guys about that. Social Media Lounge, be ready to pop off. I'm coming at you next. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
At LITMradio.com.
You guys are so hot right now.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what the fuck am I going to eat today? I got the answer for you right here, folks. It's Marinate Restaurant. You marinateyourlife.com. That's what you're going to do. You're going to go over there. You're going to get yourself some sliders, some bowls, some soups, some tacos, whatever it is, because you know on Tuesdays, those tacos are buy one, get one free. So head over to the Brando store on the corner of Western and Melrose and get yourself some goddamn tacos. Let's go, baby. MarinateYourLife.com. Head over there today for the best food you've never had.
You guys are so hot right now.
Welcome back, folks. Luch Dog in the Morning Hangout with you. TTR Studios is the channel on YouTube. Of course, you can find the podcast everywhere. So, Potts, resting bitch face is something that happens to me. Belly, I'm sure, experiences it all the time in the bar, as he is the bartender on the East Coast that is better than anybody else on the East Coast. I am the wedding DJ that is better than anybody else on the East Coast, and Potts is the chef extraordinaire better than anybody on the West Coast. What do you think about that? Marinate Your Life, the corner of Western and who the hell knows? Shout it out, man. Where are they?
Melrose.
The corner of Know Your Role Boulevard and Jabroni Avenue.
Go check them out. We've literally, Belly, we had people literally going across the country just to try his burrito, his wrap, whatever you want to call it.
Delicious.
It's amazing. Kitchen sink wrap.
Kitchen sink wrap, hot mess wrap, tacos, wraps, sliders, sides. Get it all.
Not soups, though. No soups.
The only place you get soup, you have one soup and it goes in the kitchen sink wrap.
Yeah, you got to get it in your wrap. Yep. It's amazing.
Social Media Lounge would like to know,
how
do you accidentally hit on a girl?
Well, let me tell you something. Is that a lady who's saying it? Because you've accidentally hit on a guy 1,000 times in a day. Happens all the time. We think you're hitting on us. Not even close. That's how.
Pineapple.
It's just so hard, man. Like, if you're a nice person who smiles a lot, people are going to think you're hitting on them. Especially if you don't have tact in what you say, and what you actually say is, in case you need me for anything.
I know that I'm not supposed to joke right now, but
no,
I was literally going to say,
you know
how I work? You know how I work? I just hit on everyone, 100% of the people. I just hit on all of you. You're welcome.
I did not say you're
men,
not allowed.
women, not children. That's not cool.
Peel it back. Tell them why you said that, because I think it's good. I did not say you can't joke.
Right before, right after we went to break, Luch was like, So do all you got is quick whip jokes today?
I feel like can I get some actual input from our voice of reason, or are you just going to make a joke out of every word out of my mouth?
What you should assume is when I'm not making reasonable comments is that you're being very reasonable.
Oh, okay. I'm fine with that. I'm actually on point. That's good. All you have left to do is joke?
Yeah, all I got left, you're like, oh, you're making a lot of good points. I guess all I got left is, 3 words and after everything I say.
That's good. Your shtick is on point today. It's just weird because sometimes you guys are like not shticky and sometimes you are.
I'm super shticky.
I love it when we get creative. When I ask you, like, Potts, for the second segment, what are we serving now in the social media lounge?
Cosmos and old fashions.
Boom.
But old fashions without soda water because soda water's for assholes.
See, now that is complete improv right there, and I think that's fun to do. I want more of that in the show.
Yeah.
So very good, very good. Resting bitch face though. I got matched with some girl on Bumble.
Oh yeah.
She's gorgeous, but yeah, she's right when she points it out in her profile. Not a lot of smiling going on. What is the deal with resting bitch face? Is it actually a thing, or is that somebody's excuse for saying I'm just not a happy person?
I feel like I have it sometimes, but it's mostly because my mustache makes my make me look like I'm frowning all the time.
I think if somebody has resting bitch face, they're offended by what I just said. Of course, I'm a happy person. I just come across looking unhappy all the time, and I'm here to ask you: is that really a happy person? Potts?
Yeah, I mean, the people I know that have RBF are actually, very happy. And what's funny is I know a couple people, and the second I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? They totally change, and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? And it's crazy because they do go from RBF to, like, super smiley.
Yeah.
And to see that happen in the flash of a dime is, like, kind of funny. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing, and I don't necessarily think it means they're depressed people or upset.
Agreed. I mean, the thing about resting bitch face is it's not really an emotion. It's just how your face is when you're standing there.
Okay, thank you. That's what people say, and I don't know that I agree about that because one thing that I know I'm very conscious of, and it might just be me, and I'm here to ask you guys: is it the fact that person couldn't care less how they're presenting themselves to the world unless they're conscious of how they're presenting themselves? Because like 100% of the time, I want to give off happy, fun-loving, nice, kind, not necessarily happy. Nobody's happy all the time. But if I'm around people, I'm always conscious of what I look like and what I'm giving off. Is that not common?
I actually, in general terms, or in a lot of things that you see in people, a lot of people that have the smiley face on and are putting it on are mostly doing it for people and are actually
you think it's
more
fake?
of the most sad people that there are. People that are overly excited and like things like that are ones that are battling some kind of depression most of the time.
And if they're not those people, they're people that are consciously smiling, which is just hard work. I mean, it's something, regardless, it's a conscious thing. And I think it's something that you have to be aware of 24/7. And I don't have the time or the energy or the fucks to give to do that.
You usually have zero.
To be perfectly honest.
That's what I'm asking. So is it, it's almost like I don't give a fuck. It's one of those things I think with the RBF, because it's not fair to say that person, I guess, isn't happy technically, but imagine it this way. When I was teaching special ed for the county public schools, special ed, and I'm talking kids that were lower level special ed, category B, lower functioning autism, kids that only knew like 4 letters in the alphabet because those were the 4 letters in their name, and they're 17 in middle school. These are kids who are really having cognitive delays, and I'm there trying to do it in my first year of teaching. I don't know what I'm doing. I just have a business degree and I'm on a provisional teaching license. They're like, throw them to the fire. Good luck. And I'm like, okay, like this is
sweet. That's awesome.
I mean, dude, they need people who want to do it. It's called a special. It's not a special needs. It's a subject that they just need teachers. Like chemistry is one of them. Technology is one of them. Where it's like, just look, as long as you have a degree in something, you can come teach for us and a provisional license for 3 years. As long as you take the classes in those 3 years to get yourself certified. And then at the end of the 3 years, as long as you're certified, you can stay on. And I just...
How long did you do it?
3 years, but I told them very straight up, I'm not going to do this after 3 years. I'm not going to put myself into debt with classes. I love doing it. This is great. I'm happy to do it for the 3 years. I'll do the very minimum to do it for those 3 years, but I'm not going to do this after 3 years. And they were actually 3 of the best years of my life. Like I learned so much on how to talk to people. If you can connect with a kid who only knows 4 letters, like you can connect with anybody. And actually that kid, you're not supposed to have favorites. That kid was my favorite kid in the class, like one of them. I mean, he was just so cool. He was so cool. This kid only knows 4 letters in the alphabet, but he's mechanic in the way he thinks. Like, he can talk, right? But he would talk almost like somebody who was like French. Like, they would all call me Mr. C, and he'd be like, Monsieur C, truck. He's 17. He's in middle school. Like, ridiculous cognitive delay. But he loves those trucks, man. He loves those trucks. And he would point them out to me on these like field trips. He'd be like, dump truck, cement truck. And I'd be like, yeah, man. At one time, we had to take him to the bathroom, and dude wasn't coming out. I'm like, all right, well, weirdly enough, like, this is something that's part of your job. You have to go check on the kid, make sure he's okay in the stall. You make sure he's all right. And so I did, and I looked in there, and something was awry, and I was just like, wait, what is he doing right now? It was awesome, man. This kid went into a stall to use the bathroom, 1 or 2, doesn't matter, but realized that the door lock on the stall was broken, so it wouldn't shut. He couldn't latch it, and it would just continuously like creak back open an inch or 2. So he takes the toilet paper, and he kind of crumples it up, and he wraps it around the latch to lock the door. And it just like moved me for some reason. Like, he's in there, man. This kid is in there. And it's so easy to be like, oh, yeah, you're not going to teach him anything new. He's already 17. Right. He only knows 4 letters. But no, look at the ability for this kid to think. It's there. You just got to find a way to connect with them. I loved teaching those kids. I really did. But, I mean, I learned so much from that situation. I don't have a clue where I was going with this from Resting Bitch Face. But I can tell you right now, if you can read like a kid, and that's what I was going to say. What they taught me is, if you're going to be in a classroom, always behave as if a parent of one of the kids is standing in the room or at least outside the door looking in. And what that'll do is that'll stop you from doing this. And Belly, can you explain what I'm doing to the podcasters?
Looks like you're sitting on your phone, Luch, not paying attention and being very aloof.
It looks like you're on your phone. Maybe I'm actually just pulling up a piece of information that the kid asked me. What's the capital of, I don't know, Bangladesh. I don't know.
I think Bangladesh is a capital.
Is it? I don't even know. I'm horrible at geography. I taught math and science, so I don't know. Let me pull up my phone and think about it. No, don't do that, because if somebody's outside, it looks like you're just texting.
Right. Well, you said the same thing with DJing, too.
And that's what I'm saying.
I don't know how to pronounce this word. Dhaka. Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh.
Oh, thank you. Very nice, Social Media Lounge. All right, give them an extra. What are we serving?
Sure, we'll give credit to Social Media Lounge for that one. Cosmos and Old Fashions, by the way.
Oh, was that you? Did you pull that up?
Luxardo cherries. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, that was a production note. All right, nicely done, Belly. But what I'm saying is, I have that beat into me, like, not beat it, but you know what I mean. It's beat into my brain, like, dude, always be conscious of what you're giving off, because you never know who's looking. And I think a Resting Bitch Face person is like on the opposite spectrum.
I mean, I was having
couldn't care less.
I can relate to this in some sense. Yesterday I was having a day where I got into work and it was like everything was like, all right, you guys no one's going to be here to help me today. It's just me working the floor for the next 2 hours. Let's do this thing. Or actually it was 2.5, 3 hours. It was just me working on the floor with serving all the guests that would come into the restaurant.
Potts, he came home last night so mad.
And
he's so mad.
I mean, it was just one of those, but eventually it was creeping into how I was interacting with guests.
But you never come home mad. Like, you were visibly frustrated last night.
I was like, all right, well, great. I come into work and there's no one there to help me. I have no one to be able to do.
But for the listeners, what do you do? Are you on the floor? Are you a bartender?
At that time, I was everything. I was going to run my own food. I was going to take all my own food orders. I was making my own drinks. I was making the drinks for the 60-person party. I was serving the 3 tables that were on the restaurant floor because there was no server scheduled at the time. Then I was also given all the other tables that would come in, so most of my bar was full. So when I'm serving 40 guests at a time, and there's also a party of 60 in the back that are ordering Manhattans and Cosmos and cocktails and gin and
you don't have to make those, do you?
Yes, I have to make the cocktails for the restaurant. That's the bar's duty. I get tipped out for doing that.
Okay, pause. Pots on managers. Just go.
How obviously. That's like, was that intentional scheduling or did someone not show up?
No, it was one of those. It's one of those things where you could have easily delegated the work around what the staff we had in at the time to manage it, but we didn't. But it's fine. I mean, I did it all. I made money, But at the end of it all, of course, at 5 o'clock, when everyone gets in, when the server gets in, the server gets sat 3 tables before walking in the door. That's not what you want either as a server. You're
triple sat? No.
You're sat 3 tables before you're even walking in the door.
You're not supposed to double sit a server.
Yeah.
Which means 2 tables at a time. Because guess what? Those drinks take forever to make. I got to do it for 2 tables now? It's not happening.
And one
Triple
of those
server?
tables is going to be like, why haven't I seen my server yet?
Right.
Well,
It's
because
Potts.
he's checking in at the first table that got sat 1 minute before your table.
Potts
and they
said
have 20 questions.
Potts said it yesterday, or last show. What happens if you go on a date and you don't get greeted in 2 minutes?
Oh, I get up and leave.
Yep.
And another pet peeve of mine is when someone does get double sat, then the server takes your order and you see them go to the next table to take their order before putting your order in the system. I fucking hate that. It's so fucking annoying. But as the other table, I hate seeing the server taking an order knowing that they're going to put that order in the system before they even come talk to me. That's when I'm getting up and leaving.
So basically, you're just a selfish restaurant
either
guest.
way,
I
that
hate
server's
everybody.
totally
The
fucked.
lesson is I hate everyone.
No.
Because I do that on the bar floor. Like, if I'm going to my farthest table away from where my bar entrance is, I'm going to stop at 3 other tables to make sure that they're all good. And if they need something, I'll put it in the docket in my brain until I get up to 8 drinks. Then I have to move on and go get
8's the
those
max.
things.
But is it safe to say Potts is not selfish? He's thinking like a restaurant guest that it's about me. It should feel as the guest that I'm number one.
Don't worry, I made.
Don't make it hard
for
for me to spend my money.
Right. And Belly, isn't it? I mean, that's your job, is to make every single person feel like that they're the most important there.
No.
I feel like that's a waiter's
I need to make
job.
sure everyone knows that they're
No.
equal, and that this is an equal opportunity thing. When your drink's empty, or when your drink's close to empty, is when I'm coming for you.
So how did you manage the fact that you were kind of chapped? Did you have looking back on it now, do you think you had some RBF walking around?
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. So the hostess came up to me. One of the tables was waiting for a short time because they had I had one person waiting for other people. Those 3 other people arrived, but I had also I'd taken orders for other tables. So I'm getting everything settled. I'm making drinks for the restaurant. And then one of the people comes over to me and goes, hey, that table just came up to me, told me they want waters and for you to come over and take their order. And I go, great, I'll be right over there. Or you could have taken their order. But either way, I'll be right over there. I'll bring them the waters. I bring them the waters and then I go, hey, do you have any questions about the menu? Are we ready to order? No, we're going to need a few more minutes.
Oh, wow. No thanks. No thanks. Give him a noise. Yeah, really.
Like, okay, so you need a few more minutes. Great, because you just went up and told one of my servers that you were ready. So maybe be ready next time when you tell someone you're ready. Okay, thanks.
I wouldn't come back for 5 minutes. I'd be like, sorry, all right, later.
Well,
I hate that shit.
It's funny when the server came up to me and told me that they were ready to order. I was ready to lay into the server and be like, so you couldn't take their order? You couldn't just come over and tell me what they wanted, or even serve them maybe just for a hot second because you can see that I'm fucking busy making your drinks.
Right.
From the Social Media Lounge, pick your battles, bro. My wife has it. She's happy as hell. That's so Cali of him calling it RBF. Please don't say RBF. It's very millennial of him, Ryan, even though he's not one. Thank you very much. I agree. I am not a millennial, even though technically, yeah, I'm pretty sure I am. You guys are on point today.
Hey,
Thank
RBF
you.
Works. It's shorter.
Thank you, Social Media Lounge. A lot of good stuff coming in. I smile a lot and I have a terrible laugh. Well, that's okay because smiles are contagious and you're affecting the world.
I can have a loud laugh.
Keep it going.
If you're making me laugh, I'm going to laugh real loud.
I think we're just going to make this our new intro. I love these new jams. When we get back, I'm going to ask you how you keep your mind right. Do you need to blow some steam by cutting off some Christmas trees? Do you need a quick 3 fingers of Jack when you get home? Who knows? I want to know about your vices.
A quick Jack.
And maybe just a quick Jack.
I love a quick Jack. I'm going to take the quick Jack after
Give me a
show.
touchdown, an outro touchdown. Good job, Belly. That's the joke we were looking for. We'll be back after this. It's Luch Dog in the morning.
At litmradio.com.
gospel.
cry.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Never hit so hard.
Welcome back, folks. We just want to have a little bit of fun with you guys today. Thank you for hanging out with us here on the channel TTR.
Better end in 30 seconds or less.
Yes, the rights to the song are not ours. That is, of course, Miley Cyrus, Wrecking Ball. We love that stuff. Thank you for hanging out here with us. Potts on the West Coast, Belly here in studio on the East Coast with me. And I want to know, how do you keep your mind right? Like, what's the best way for you to maintain happiness? Do you need sleep? Do you need a bowl hit after work? Do you need a quick drink after work? Do you need to go for a run? What is your way of keeping your mind right?
I'll answer this like I answered every question on a test in high school. All the above.
Like, when it comes to vices, because I think too often people are afraid to talk about their vices. And I just feel like you shouldn't be ashamed of them. Whatever it takes for you to get through the day with a smile on your face so that you do not have RBF.
Looks like we have a couple from the social media lounge throwing the input in.
I love
sleep,
it.
Sleep, 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 sleep,
Yeah.
sleep, sleep. Oh,
Yep.
and also one wheel.
Oh, very nicely said. Which is true. It's a really good use for that. Just clearing your head. Potts, do you have anything?
I've been drinking way too much coffee lately. Because what I notice is I have to have a vice. So like I haven't smoked weed in several months. So I went to coffee, and I'm drinking way too much coffee throughout the day. And then I don't do this often, but like a shot of tequila at the end of the night actually really helps take the edge off. And because you know, you come home and you kind of have to unwind. I think everyone likes to decompress. So yeah, sometimes I'll just take a quick shot of tequila and pass out. But
Belly, I had a thing when I was in my 20s where when you're 20s, you're right about everything, right? So I was thinking...
Still am, even in 30s.
It's great. I don't know what happened to you. I had a thing called the power hour. That if I ever got married, I would like to institute a power hour rule. Has nothing to do with drinking. The first hour after somebody gets home from work, they're allowed to decompress. I'll take the kids. Yeah. If you just got home from work, you get an hour. I got the kids, fine. But even if it's 20 minutes, realistically... Everybody needs some sort of decompress, like, let me just recharge the battery phase. I think that's fair. And if you have a wife or a couple or a spouse or whatever, if you have somebody that recognizes that from you, that's like gold, man.
And now at the end of that power hour, is there a cheers that says, all right,
your turn.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. Your turn. Your turn now. Like, help me out. Now let's get back to doing this on our own. Because like I feel like people try so hard to do the right thing, and just they just burn like both ends of the candle, and they're not present enough to make an actual impact. Can I take this to what I was talking to yesterday?
Sure.
That really kind of like this one. You guys might know what I'm talking about. This is going to get a little bit trippy. So if you've ever done drugs, you're welcome. If you haven't, maybe this will make you want to try. I don't know. I'm just saying, this is an interesting thought. You guys ever see that video about the guy that's talking about a Rockstar energy drink?
No.
Nope.
Okay, let me back it up then and ask you this. There are multiple instances, if you look it up, that people who have taken psychedelics, specifically mushrooms, more often than not, they feel a religious sort of experience. It's always they always speak, not always, but more often than not, they speak of a spiritual experience.
Sure.
Okay. Now, with that being said, it's also called you're taking a trip, right? You're on a trip when you do mushrooms or a psychedelic. It's a trip, and it grows out of the ground. I mean, that's weird to me. It's always been fascinating to me. All right. So if you take that, I will say that this guy who's talking about Rockstar, what's in the social media line?
No, nothing. I just had a joke in my mind, and I just decided to hold it back.
Do it.
So you're fascinated by things growing out of the ground?
Oh, yeah.
Like most things in this world that grow out of the ground?
Trees. Flowers. Yeah, but if you eat a flower, it doesn't take you into another dimension, which is what I'm about to tell you.
Depends on the flower.
That's what I'm telling you shrooms do. I am making the claim that shrooms take you to the fifth dimension. Now, here's how I will back it up. Okay? This is not my thought. I'm taking a thought that's out there on the internet and expanding it. This guy has a sticker. He's a motivational speaker. I forget his name. And he said it's a Rockstar energy drink. So right now, you guys can do this with me. Social Media Lounge, listeners, Pots, Belly. I want you to say that word Rockstar, but not out loud. Say it in your mind at the count of 3. Not out loud. Listeners, do it as well. Ready? Just say it in your head. 1.
Wait, what am I saying?
Rockstar. 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Now, you heard that voice, right?
No.
Okay, I need you in serious training.
I have bad hearing.
Dude, I can't have you here.
All right.
I can't do it. I can't
right.
have a serious discussion if you're going to do that.
All right. Let's go. One more time.
Because this is like serious. Like I'm
ready.
trying to take you
I'm ready to
on
start.
a train of thought.
I'm ready to start.
Okay. If you actually say the word Rockstar in your head, you hear that. Okay? You hear that, but not with your ears. You hear it, and it wasn't made with vibrational sound. So what voice are you hearing, and where is it coming from? What are you hearing it with? And the argument, whether you believe in what I'm saying or not, I'm just telling you that this is out there and it's a mind experience. It's a meditational thing to think about. What he is making the point is that your body is a third-dimensional vessel, but your hearing and speaking, your conscience lives in a higher dimension, above time. Time is the 4th dimension. The 5th dimension is where your conscience and your being lives. And it's actually communicating with your body in the 3rd dimension, right? But in the 5th dimension, if you think about it, you can actually see your past. You can override time. You can see your past right now. What did you eat for breakfast? What did you have for dinner last night? You can see that meal, but you're not seeing it with your eyes. You're seeing it with your eyes in the 5th dimension, which is your mind's eye. It's trippy. All right, if you're looking, and that's the whole point is what they're making is you can also see your future, and that's what manifestation is. See your future with your actual being and live towards that, and you'll be shocked at what starts coming into your life that keeps you on that path.
Well, this is the same kind of concept as the like secret, right?
Yes, and that's where that's all coming from. Yes, that's the belly I need right now. And that's what I'm trying to say is I think that's an amazing thought. That is it possible that maybe shrooms allow you to get on the right vibration of that 5th dimension where you're now able to see all time in one? I can tell you that it feels like it. I can tell you that it feels like it. Where you're now not seeing things through your eyes anymore in the 3rd dimensional world. You're seeing with your actual 5th dimensional being in the 3rd dimensional world, and that's why it's such a trip. You're taking a trip to the 5th dimension.
You're entering your mind's eye.
You're entering your true being. You're shedding all of the bullshit, and you're just seeing with your being. That is, some fascinating stuff to me. Now think about this, because I know I'm kind of being weird right now, but it's a fun thought to think about. The 3rd dimension can interact with the 2nd dimension. The higher dimensions can interact with the lower dimension.
What's the 2nd dimension?
Perfect. Technically, it's no depth, right? It's just height and width.
Okay.
So it's us drawing a cartoon, us creating a cartoon character, right? There's no actual 3D to it. It's 2D, but you give that character life. You bring it into the world because you drew it. You give it thoughts with a thought bubble. But if you were to travel down to a 2nd dimension with a 3rd dimensional body, what would happen? You'd be flattened. Guess what? That's what a black hole is.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Think about that. Is that
Mind's
insane?
Explosion.
Is that possible that a black hole is something that we don't understand? What happens when you go through a black hole? Boom, you get torn apart and flattened. Okay.
As far as we know.
Maybe on the other side of it then is the 2nd dimension.
Sounds like you're lost in space.
Is the social is the social media lounge?
I want to do drugs.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if we can interact with lower dimensions, meaning a 3rd dimensional being can create something in a 2nd dimensional world, well then theoretically a 4th or 5th dimensional being can interact with the 3rd dimensional world, which is us. And it's really, really, I think, ignorant, or at least not educational, to think that there's only 3 dimensions.
That's ignorant.
Right? So is that possible?
Yes.
Is that possible that shrooms maybe take you to that 5th dimension? Anybody who's ever shroomed before in the social media lounge, I feel like we've got somebody out there that might be able to speak to that.
Maybe. Maybe not. Let's see what they say.
I'm on it.
It definitely makes me think deeper than I would have ever sober, says the Social Media Lounge.
I've never once had a religious experience on hallucinogenics, but I'm also extremely anti-religion. I usually just have a good time.
Does the experience have to be religious, though?
And get weird.
Saying,
no,
right?
spiritual.
No.
Spiritual.
Spiritual.
Once had a religious experience.
And then you what is it?
It says, geez, getting deep today, Luch, but I talk to myself in my head, not on drugs. People will say that that's your fifth dimensional being
Getting
speaking
black
to you.
hole deep.
Right? Yeah, you don't. Okay, I'm done. I just wanted to bring it to you. It's terrible radio. You're right. I'm sorry, everyone. I just think it's an interesting idea. I've totally lost you two. That's fine.
Well, it's that I'm just kind of. I
thought we would try to expand some minds today.
Well,
I'm just saying.
If you want to do a show on shrooms, then maybe we should and have a fifth dimension show. But otherwise, I don't know what this fifth dimension is going to look like right now.
Well, I'm just saying, isn't it worth like thinking about? Isn't that something that could do we ever? I mean, you're sitting here hitting me yesterday with do you believe that ghosts exist?
Yeah, ghosts definitely exist.
All right, so I think it's worth having a conversation about dimensions.
Yeah, which dimension are they on?
That's a good question.
What plane of the existence do they fall on?
Why
it was funny because I said they can go live their lives.
Yeah, he did. He said, "All right, ghost, don't mess with me. Just go live your life or not life." Why do you believe in ghosts so much?
I mean, I just think
dimensional
there's enough
talk just makes everybody glaze their eyes.
There's
over.
enough evidence over time that ghosts exist. I mean, maybe some people don't believe it, but to me, and of course, I think these fifth dimensions in your mind's eye and everything exists as well, and that the secret has a basis to it in the sense of anything that you can envision in your life. You need to envision your goals if you want to achieve them.
Sure.
If you don't ever like focus on what you want to see and what you want out of life, you're never going to find anything because it's all going to be fuzzy. So what you need to envision those things, and that's how those things come to reality. And that's from that mind's eye that you're talking about, that fifth dimension.
Yes.
So portals will eventually find their way into the fifth dimension and bring that stuff into reality as long as you think about it hard enough.
You're putting yourself on the right track. Potts, you got anything for us?
I need to take a poo.
Okay, thank you.
Poo.
This is just...
on you.
Okay. Well, I thought that this would be interesting radio to talk about. And I think you guys have the ability to talk about it. You're just being lazy right now. I'm calling you both out.
I've done to talk about it.
That was good.
What you talking about?
I don't think you have. I don't think you're not able to talk about something that's a little bit outside the box. I think our listeners can handle it. I think you guys can handle it. I think it's just something that maybe you might not want to think about because it's a little deep. It's a little deep. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean you can't think about this stuff. This stuff is fascinating, man. Look up The Secret. Seriously, it works in my life. I'm telling you it works. You can think I'm crazy. You can think I'm nuts. I've got real world experience of it. I'm not saying that you're going to sit here. Like Copy says, when I was a kid, I used to trip a lot. I had visions of me being in a famous band. That didn't work out. All right, well, I'm not saying every vision that you have is going to come to fruition.
True.
But what Belly said is so true, which is you can't get somewhere if you don't know where you're going.
No.
Right? So if nothing else,
or if you don't have a general sense,
I couldn't stand this on Hard Knocks. I couldn't stand it because you could tell that it was so. Anybody see Hard Knocks on Sunday night or Monday night? It was so like ridiculously planned. This guy knew that. I feel like the guy knew the cameras were going to be on, and he gets in front of the team, and he's like a linebacker, and he's like, "All right, y'all, what's your why? What's your why? I want to know what your why is. Why do you play? Why do you play football? I want y'all to write this down on a piece of paper. What's your why? I want you to put that on your bedstand, put it on your ceiling, but just so when you wake up every morning, you look at it and you see what's your why." And at first I was like, dude, quit playing it up for the cameras. But then I started thinking about it. That's a really good thing to actually do and write down what your why is on whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I agree. It sounds like he was probably hamming it up for the cameras, but that actually, I think that is kind of a good motivating, thing to wake up every day and see what your inspiration is, and kind of go attack your day. I mean, I do believe in stuff like that. I've kind of read The Secret. There's a movie about it too, but I mean, that's like not even 10% of the game, though. That's the thing. Is like people think that they can think about something and it's going to come to them. Dude, it's so much hard work and blood, sweat, and tears. Like with what my business partner and I have gone through with Marinate, it's way more than writing something on a fucking piece of paper. I can tell you that. And what we're going through is the part that most 99% of the people won't endure. to get to the promised land.
I literally just piped into Belly's ear to ask you,
what's your why with Marinate? But it sounds like you.
I mean, you just went right to, but what is your reason for doing it? Like, what is that? Like, why do you want
to leave
it?
a legacy. I want something that will, one, I want to be rich, and two, I want something that can, like I want to build a brand, something that will go past when I'm gone, like, McDonald's or Chipotle, like that's going to go forever, and that's what I want, is something that I can leave behind, maybe leave for my family. And I want to prove to myself that I can be successful at something and look at it and say, I built this, I made this.
Belly, what about you? What's your why for what you're doing right now?
Oh, don't ask me. I have no idea what my why is. Oh, God. I have no direction in life whatsoever. I have no idea where I'm going. Leave me behind.
I'm spinning and twirling. Where I end up is where I end up. And quite frankly, some people are like that, and God bless them. That's fine.
I'm 360 spins on the dance floor.
All right, this was a little bit of an odd show. I know it is more of a comedy show, and usually when I try to expand minds, I get looked at like I've got 6 heads on my shoulders. So I'm not at all upset with anybody for not taking the bite on that conversation. But you know what?
Just wasn't Christmas treat up enough for that one.
Maybe you need some Christmas trees for that one. But I think it's worth thinking about. Where are you coming from? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your why? It's actually a good question, as long as you're not hamming it up for the cameras. We gotta go! Potts, get out of here, man.
That's all I got, Luch. I cannot wait to see you this Sunday as you DJ my baby shower. It's going to be dope. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and you can kindly go fuck yourselves.
I am going out there to LA on Sunday.
Thanks, Manny Potts.
Very, very excited to see Potts. Thank you, bud. That was a good job. I'm going to be DJing his baby shower in Santa Monica. Pretty pumped about that. I'll be out there until Wednesday if anybody wants to hang out in LA. Belly, we got to go, man.
What are we doing on days where you're not going to be here?
I'll be here. We're going to do the shows.
Skype in, right?
Yep, we're going to do the shows. I'll Skype in. We'll do it for fun from the road. So
you're going to Skype in from the same apartment that Potts is in?
Yep, Belly's in.
Man, that internet connection better be fucking good.
We'll be on the same Skype. We'll be sitting right next to each other, and Belly will be in the big chair.
Or it's just going to be me sitting in the big chair all by my lonesome,
Flying
talking
solo.
for an hour. All about sports, so prepare yourselves, people.
Either way, he's going to kill it. Hang out with us on Tuesday for the Voice of One Wheel. We will be doing. I'll be doing it from LA, and then, of course, Wednesday and Friday next week for Luch Dog in the morning. Social Media Lounge, you are my heroes. Thank you guys for hanging out every morning. We'll see you guys next week. For everybody here at TTR Studios, it is Luch Dog in the morning
at LITMradio.com.